Bad Schools. Welcome to another episode of A Goth in an Alcove. It is I, your host, Ian. This week's episode is going to be kind of playing a little bit of catch up. It's been about 3 weeks since my last video. I do apologize. It's been a lot going on here. I, as you know, had moved from Atlanta back to Tampa, and I had a lot going on, trying to unpack, get settled in, get kind of back into the work swing here in Tampa. This is my office mostly set up. I have a few things I still need to get for it, but got my little figures up here and got a little bit of art up on the wall. By the way, the Ouija board with the insects in it, that's for you, Elitist Joe, because I know how much you love Ouija board print. Yeah, that's for you. Anyways, what's been going on the last few weeks? I've gone out to a few events. I did a event with the Obscura Undead crew. They did a goth night in the dungeon of the castle, which I'll show some video footage of and talk about that in this episode. And then I went up to Dragon Con in Atlanta. I realized I just kind of left Atlanta, not even like 2 months ago at this point, and went right back just a couple weeks ago for Dragon Con. You might think, like, what does that have to do with goth? But there is a big goth contingency that shows up to Dragon Con. It's a pop culture convention, a lot of science fiction, comic books, anime, gaming, and there is music there. So it was a good time. Anyways, what else is happening? There's a little bit of music news. If you haven't heard, Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, they have a new album coming out September 30th. Really excited to hear that. It was kind of a surprise album that just popped up. I think they're calling it Ghosteen, is my understanding. So I'm curious to see what Mr. Cave has to offer all of us. There's some music videos. I'm going to be doing some music video reactions to it. Some new stuff coming out from Wingtips, and I'm kind of curious to see. This is a band that I have been getting into more and more lately, and I'm very excited because they are coming to Tampa to play at Absolution Fest, which is just about a week and a half away. So that'll be a fun event. A few other YouTubers are coming into town for it. Cadaver Kelly and a lovely lady that I've been chatting with online a bit, one Miss Skullgirdle RIP. So I look forward to meeting them both and having fun, hearing all the bands playing. I'll put a link down below for it. There's a Facebook deal. So if you're in Florida and you're wanting to get involved in the goth scene, or you're in the Southeast and you think you can make it down to Florida, that could be a fun event. What else is going on? So, before I forget, I've got some tasty new incense. Really not new. It's one that I've been lighting for a while, like within the last year. It was given to me as a gift, and I really like it. And since today is the first day of fall as I record this video, it's called Ghostly Glow. It's put out by Ganesh. The scent is a pumpkin, cinnamon type of scent, and I know, like, pumpkin everything, that's your as you've seen the memes, basic white girl scent, but I like it. It's really good smelling incense. I like it. And let's see, we'll have a little bit of incense and some candles going, and kind of add to the spooky fun feeling that's going on for autumn. This video, the first part, I'm going to do a quick review of a bath bomb from Hex Bombs. I didn't use it myself personally. My wife did. I'm going to tell you, you're going to see in this video what this particular bomb did to our bathtub. I want to preface this that we've bought Hex Bomb in the past. It is a really, they have all sorts of dark scents. They turn your tub blood red, they turn it black or bright purple, like most bath bombs do, but the flavors have or the scents have kind of a ghoulish, spooky connotation to it. So we were at a shop recently, and they had the scent was called Hecate, and In store, when we bought it, it smelled really good. My wife liked it. She picked it out. She was excited to use it. She kind of held off for a little bit, and she used it last night, and oh my gosh, like it turned the tub, big dark black ring around it, uh, which normally like black wouldn't bother us, but the ring was really hard to clean off, and it even left some black staining on her skin. So I'm not sure if this was the best bath bomb. Um, Maybe it's just the best scent to use. And the scent in store, it smelled great. When we opened it up, it smelled good. And then ultimately, like she was in the other room taking her bath, and I could smell it here in my office, and it smelled like, God, it smelled like a bad cleaner, like a really strong household cleaner. So I don't know if Hecate is one I would highly recommend for anybody out there that likes to use bath bombs. So this is what occurs when you use the Hex Bomb Hecate Bath Bomb. It leaves a wonderful black ring around your tub, and I don't look forward to cleaning this. And I love black. It's pretty much that's all that's in my wardrobe. But when I bathe and when my partner bathes, I don't want to see a black ring around the tub. And I certainly don't want my partner covered in black soot after they've bathed. It might be fun in other cultures or for some people, but yeah, the idea of getting a bath is to come out clean. And unfortunately, this Hex Bomb didn't do the trick. All right, so I've gotten like all of the promo type stuff out of the way that I can think of at the moment. And in this episode, I'm kicking into my take on Obscura Undead's night at the castle. I preface this with, if you have never been to the castle, it's a goth industrial club that opened about, gosh, close to 25 years ago at this point. It might be longer. I've seen some debated timelines as to when they've been open. Originally, it started out up as a just a small bar. It was an old, I believe it was like a union hall that was used by cigar makers back in the early 1900s. So the building's really old. The bar area downstairs, it's a split level nightclub. It's a nice wraparound bar. They used to have the way the bar surface was set up was it's tiled, but in between the tiles, instead of just having straight grout, it's all deep like a moat, and so water would run through it. So the bar downstairs, there's a little patio area in the back where they've got light and fog machines and everything set up, and there's a DJ down there a lot of times, and you can go out if the weather's nice enough. You can go outside and dance. And then you go upstairs. They have another bar off to immediately when you get upstairs. You go into that bar if you want, and they call that the Red Room, and it's just strictly a bar. And they're usually piping in music from the main dance floor. So the main dance floor in the castle, it's one of the biggest dance floors I've been on in my time of going out to goth industrial nightclubs. And that dance floor, they used to have a big glass chandelier that was really cool that would spin throughout the night up above the dance floor instead of your typical disco ball. Inside, the walls are all concrete. It's all got spooky lighting with reds and blues and purples. Their light setup is really nice. A lot of candles lit, a lot of velvet furniture, things that you would find in a typical goth club. Now, why this Obscura Undead event was so unique is that the castle typically plays goth industrial. Okay. More emphasis on the industrial and EBM types of music, and some more mainstream bands or artists, like you will occasionally hear Rob Zombie, Marilyn Manson, Nine Inch Nails. The goth side of it. Not a lot of goth is played. It has changed a bit over the years. Every now and then a goth band will get slipped in, but overall, you're going to hear EBM and industrial in the upstairs area. Friday nights, they do something called Coffin Classics, and they have a communion after dark, is most of the DJs that are spinning at the castle. So they'll do communion at midnight, and that's basically somebody comes around with a little tray of tiny little shots. So if you are in the 21 plus crowd, you can drink. That's another good thing about the castle. A lot of areas in the country for the US are pretty much like 21 plus for their nightclubs, and the castle offers 18 up. So if you are over the age of 18, you're good to go. They'll put X's on the back of your hand, or if you're over 21, they'll give you a wristband. So why was this Obscura Undead event so special is because that downstairs area I spoke about, they have a section they call their dungeon, and it's a private room. It's set up. When they open the doors, they do allow, when they have bigger special events at the club, because they do a lot of theme nights there. The music will be goth industrial, but they'll do different themings. They'll have like cosplay nights, they'll do taboo fetish nights, vampire balls, steampunk nights, sometimes they'll do pirate nights. So it's kind of cool in a way. So when they have this dungeon area opened up, this allows for more people to come in and do things for like private events, or to expand upon the events that they're doing. Obscura Undead, DJs Mouse and Azzy, they have this goth night set up. It was set up as a private event. They had it set up where they had a door person. My friend Courtney, who cuts my hair, she was in a prior video, and she will be in future videos with me. She was our elitist gatekeeper, goth snob, checking your credentials at the door. All that meant is she looked at what you were wearing. It was pretty much a all black event. So if you weren't dressed in all black and goth appropriate, you weren't getting in. And then even then, because the castle unfortunately does get a lot of people that come into the club that are gawkers, and goth isn't their thing, but they're coming to look at the freaks and weirdos. So they tend to have that kind of preppy crowd sometimes that'll come stumbling in, frat boys, or just people out in the town that's like, hey, let's go to the castle and look at all the weirdos. So Courtney would ask people, what's your favorite goth band? What kind, tell me some of the music you like. It wasn't to keep anybody from experiencing the event, but it was to make sure that you were there because you wanted to be there, and that it was something that you had an interest in being a part of. And I applaud Mouse and Azzy for doing this. I know it sounds elitist, but it made the event more enjoyable because the people that were there, they were people that liked the music that was being played. They were people that could dress and express themselves without any kind of judgment or comments, or people weren't getting hit on by creepy freaks just looking for a big titty goth girlfriend. So it was really a cool event the way it was handled. Just gonna adjust here a little bit. So I'll show a little bit of video, and I didn't take a lot because I was enjoying the event. I have to say that what they did was really unique. They were playing music that I either don't get to hear a lot in a club, or music that I hadn't heard before. And I think any good DJ will try to broaden and expand the musical tastes of the people that they're spinning for. And I believe that both Mouse and Azzy achieved that. I had a really good time. They had some bartenders set up in this little dungeon area, which was really kind of nice. They do have a bar in there, but they have bartenders in there. So, a lot of times I was sitting at the bar talking to people. I met a few new people, made some new friends. The video footage that you'll see here, you'll see that I've got people, the dance floor wasn't crowded at those time periods, but there were people that were dancing, and there were various points throughout the evening where the floor did get packed, which is a good thing. You want the floor to kind of ebb and flow, where people are going to the bar, they're going to the floor to dance, they're going to the bathroom, they're going around to other parts of the club. This night, I will add, they also did a $5 upcharge on top of your normal admission into the club. So that really did kind of guarantee that people who wanted to be there really were there. What else can I say about the night? Like, it was a really good time. I'm not trying to blow smoke up Mouse and Azzy's whatevers, and not trying to, kiss ass or anything, but it was a fun event. I hope they get to do it again. It's not a common thing at the castle, and I will say that, like, it was kind of humorous to me as a bystander, because I had gone upstairs to the main dance floor a few times, and I was hearing music that they were playing downstairs at the dungeon event that Mouse and Azzy were doing that I had never heard before upstairs in the main dance hall or the main dance floor. And so it was like they would hear the music downstairs. I don't know if there was a DJ going on back and forth or what, but like suddenly I'd go upstairs and I'm like, man, I just heard that song 5 minutes ago. So that was kind of a good thing that came out of that event. I hope they get to do it again. I know that the castle, it's one of the US's longer running goth clubs that's established. It's not a goth night. It's not a once a month event. It is an established building structure nightclub, and that's hard to come by in the scene. And so even though they're playing industrial, which I like industrial, and they're playing EBM and more popular music, it still gets people into the goth subculture. I see a lot of new faces come in that they come in kind of mainstream normal looking, and give them a few months and they're suddenly a convert to goth, and they're listening to goth bands, they're listening to industrial bands. So it's a shared space for the scene, for both parts of the scene, but I think it's a good thing. And I think bringing in newer blood is into the scene is a good thing. So cheers to Mouse and Azzy for that. Yeah, so anyways, that's it for this episode. I've got some more coming up. I have some music video reactions coming up. I've got some Dragon Con footage to share with you all. There's Absolution Fest, as I mentioned earlier, coming up. Look for Courtney coming with me. We're going to go spook shopping to do some home decor shopping, since Target and Michael's and Joann's and all these stores are now putting out their Halloween goodies, and a lot of it you can put, in my case, in your home year-round. Courtney, we've got some record shopping that we're going to do. A lot of fun things coming up. So thanks for sticking around. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, tell me why. Constructive criticism is always good. If there's stuff you want to see me doing in these videos, let me know. I will try to appease the masses as best I can. And otherwise, as always, subscribe, like, comment, and keep it spooky.